Well, good morning, countryside. Pastor John here. Thanks for joining me. Just a couple of quick announcements. If you haven't done your registration for church this Sunday, it was supposed to be in yesterday, so get it done today. I'm sure we will make a spot for you in the sanctuary. We are going to be in Proverbs chapter 14, so let me go ahead and read that and we will get right down to it. This is what it says. The wisest of women builds her house, but folly with her own hands tears it down. Whoever walks in uprightness fears the Lord, but he who is devious in his ways despises him. By the mouth of a fool comes a rod for his back, but the lips of the wise will preserve them. Where there are no oxen, the manger is clean, but abundant crops come by the strength of the ox. A faithful witness does not lie, but a false witness breathes out lies. A scoffer seeks wisdom in vain, but knowledge is easy for a man of understanding. Leave the presence of a fool, for there you do not meet words of knowledge. The wisdom of the prudent is to discern his way, but the folly of fools is deceiving. Fools mock at the guilt offering, but the upright enjoy acceptance. The heart knows its own bitterness, and no stranger shares its joy. The house of the wicked will be destroyed, but the tent of the upright will flourish. There is a way that seems right to a man, but its end is the way to death. Even in laughter the heart may ache, and the end of joy may be grief. The backslider in heart will be filled with the fruit of his ways, and a good man will be filled with the fruit of his steps. And a good man will be filled with the fruit of his ways. The simple believes everything, but the prudent gives thought to his steps. The one who is wise is cautious and turns away from evil, but a fool is reckless and careless. A man of quick temper acts foolishly, and a man of evil devices is hated. The simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. The evil bow down before the good, the wicked at the gates of the righteous. The poor is disliked even by his neighbor, but the rich has many friends. Whoever despises his neighbor is a sinner, but blessed is he who is generous to the poor. Do they not go astray who devise evil? Those who devise good meet steadfast love and faithfulness. In all toil there is profit, but mere talk ends only to poverty. The crown of the wise is their wealth, but the folly of fools brings folly. A truthful witness saves lives, but the one who breathes out lies is deceitful. In the fear of the Lord one has strong confidence, and his children will have a refuge. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, that one may turn away from the snares of death. In a multitude of people is the glory of a king, but without people a prince is ruined. Whoever is slow to anger has great understanding, but he who has a hasty temper exalts folly. A tranquil heart gives life to the flesh, but envy makes the bones rot. Whoever oppresses a poor man insults his maker, but he who is generous to the needy honors him. The wicked is overthrown through his evil doing, but the righteous finds refuge in his death. Wisdom rests in the heart of a man of understanding, but it makes itself known even in the midst of fools. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. A servant who deals wisely has the king's favor, but his wrath falls on the one who acts shamefully. When I read this passage, I cannot help but think that this is a passage about the fact that we bring discipline upon our own selves. We so often try and convince people that our sin is a product of our circumstance, and that circumstance is caused by someone else. However, that's not the case, is it? The case is that the truth is that we are foolish by nature. We need God's guidance and rescue. We need Him to give us wisdom so that we can live a righteous life. We need Jesus. And I think this chapter points to that. It tells us that, being a fool gets you this, but being righteous gets you this. And the reality is, without Jesus, we are all on the fool end. We are all needing Christ, and we are all needing God's wisdom. In fact, as you read through Proverbs, there are so many places where we are told that fearing the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Proverbs 1 verse 7, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. Proverbs 2, 5, and 6, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth come knowledge and understanding. Proverbs 9:10, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is insight. Proverbs 10:27, the fear of the Lord prolongs life, but the years of the wicked will be short. And then today we see in in verse 27, the fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, that one may turn away from the snares of death. Church, the more I read through the Proverbs, the more convinced that without Christ, I am the negative example in every one of these chapters. I am the fool. I am the one who lacks insight. I'm the one who lacks wisdom. I'm the one who lacks understanding. I'm the one who is headed for a short life. I am the one who is causing pain and suffering on myself and those around me. And that's, I think, what we're taught this morning. And I can't help but then remember James 1:5, where God says, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given him. In James, he's talking to the church. James is writing to the church, and he's saying, you need this wisdom. You need this understanding. You need to know God, because when we know God, when we grasp his wisdom, then we're not the negative example in chapters like Proverbs 14. We become a breath of life to the world around us. We move into that city on the top of the hill that proclaims grace and mercy and love found in Jesus Christ. And that's what we are called to do as Christians. We are called to be a light in the darkness. You can't be a light in the darkness if you are constantly living without wisdom. Because if you are, then the world looks at you and says, why would I want to follow a God who saves people who just cause pain? The world needs Jesus as found in the scriptures. Yes, he is holy, he is righteous, he will bring judgment one day, but he is also at the same time loving and merciful and gracious and kind. You think of the stories in the Gospels where Jesus calls children to himself. Children were drawn to Jesus. Adults were drawn to Jesus. The hurting were drawn to Jesus. The rich were drawn to Jesus. Everyone was drawn to him because of his kindness and his mercy and his graciousness. And so that's what we are striving for as believers today. We are striving to be the hands and feet of Jesus, and to do that we need his wisdom. And like we're told in James, ask God for his wisdom, because he gives freely. He teaches us. He is a great teacher. And so hopefully, even though that seems a little bit of a downer at first, really the encouragement is that we have a Savior who gives freely. And hopefully you find encouragement in that today. Hopefully Proverbs 14 speaks a little more clearly to you this morning. And thanks for joining me. So we will see you again on Monday. Love you, praying for you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.